Hey everybody, this is Perch, and do you remember when the rumors were that DC was going to die? Well, you know, you, you guys, you had it partially right. Press news today: Justice League number 75, which will mark 30 years since the death of Superman, is promising that they're going to kill off the DC universe. So all the basically kill off the Justice League. So there's a cover here which shows coffins for Aquaman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. They're all going to die. So the core roster of the Justice League is dead. Josh Williamson, who is writing this with artist Rafa Sandoval for issue 75. No word on yet if it's going to be polybagged with a black armband or anything like that. But this will pit Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, John Stewart, Green Lantern. See, there's the problem, actually, right there. So in the press, they say it will have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Okay, check, check, check. John Stewart, parentheses, Green Lantern. That's the problem when you give dozens of people the same exact name. Now, Green Lantern's at least is a core, so it makes a lot of sense. But hey, Captain America's, Flash's, Wolverine's, all the rest of that stuff. See how stupid this looks? Looks stupid. Anyway, Martian Manhunter, Hawk Girl, Aquaman, Green Arrow, Black Canary, and Zatanna are fighting the Dark Army. The Dark Army is a team of super baddies that you will recognize even though they've got a new team name. And they are the DCU's greatest villains from throughout the DC multiverse. So this is think of it like death metal, except not death metal and with a different artist. And it's a different group of the greatest villains ever in the DC universe, presumably who are not all amalgamations of Batman, but bad. So anyway, the battle will feature the Justice League fighting the Dark Army and will lose, where the Dark Army will actually murder off all but one of the characters. So everybody's dying but one. Does not list who the one is. Safe bet it's Zatanna. Zatanna feels like the one that survives all this, but who knows? Could be Martian Manhunter. Have that guy looking kind of sorrowful, eating his Oreos. That could be it. But Josh Williamson says, we've been building to the death of Justice League for the last year across the main line. That's what everybody's been saying on YouTube, that you've been building to the death of DC. They just got it slightly wrong. It's the death of Justice League, not DC. But anyway, if they actually killed off all these characters, it would be the death of DC, but be that as it may. Williamson says in DC's announcement, I remember buying the death of Superman 30 years ago, and now we have an opportunity to take that idea and go bigger with it. But will you? I like Josh Williamson, so nothing against him, but I'm thinking you're not capturing that same lightning in a bottle. But, we'll see. Justice League 75 allows us to showcase why the Justice League are the comics' greatest heroes as we show the aftermath of the loss against their greatest threat ever and its impact on the DCU. The battle they will fight and lose against the Dark Army. Being able to draw the Justice League is always exciting. They're some of the greatest superhero team. They're just the greatest superhero team of all time. So Sandoval throwing that gauntlet down on old Jason Aaron, huh? How do you think that? Now you're going to have to kill off the Avengers, Jason Aaron. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? Anyway, we'll see a great evil coming out of the darkness, and more dark characters will be revealed very soon. This book is just the starting point, and fans do not want to be left behind and miss what is going to happen, which is good because we haven't had a storyline where major characters like, say, Wonder Woman have been killed and have to make their way back from death. We haven't had that in ever. Like, they've never done that. We didn't just have that a year ago, where Wonder Woman was presumed dead, and then we had that long and boring trip through the afterlife in order to return to the Justice League, only to get killed again. At some point, you have to be looking at this going, man, your heroes suck. They die, they come back, they die, they come back. Like, can you beat the villains for once? Now you got these multiversal things. Anyway, Kill the Justice League is the name of this, or Death of the Justice League is the name of it, and they're pointing out that the fact that it's issue 75 and the death of Superman was in 75 is no coincidence. No coincidence, my friends. Anyway, that's what they're going with. It goes on sale in April. Main cover by Daniel Sapri and Alejandro Sanchez. Variant covers from Dan Jurgens, Norman Raptor, Todd Nyuk, Michael Yanin, Alex Malev, Tony Harris, Simone DeMeo, and lots of variants of the Justice League fighting and dying. There you have it. I think the death came somewhere along the time when Bendis took over that book, but that's a different death altogether. I kid. April 19th, Justice League 75, the death of all the major Justice League characters. So, all right. They're not all dying. I mean, we can say that, right? Like they can die in this storyline, but then through a mix of multiverse and time travel and magic wishing beans, we'll definitely get all these characters back. So I think nobody is thinking that these characters are actually going to die. And that's kind of the problem, right? I mean, when you're doing the death of Superman was an interesting moment in time because there were a decent amount of people who thought Superman actually was going to die and was not coming back. I mean, there were funerals staged in comic shops. I mean, I'm sure comic fans were aware that he'd come back, but to a lot of the normies out there that drove the price and the whole event up, they believed that Superman was they were actually killing him off. And so it wasn't, to a lot of people, it wasn't a surprise that they were replacing him with a tough black guy, a cyborg, and a punk kid. And then somebody with a giant set of Oakleys. That was not, that people thought that could actually happen. Now, clearly, that it was a marketing stunt and Superman came back to life and everything else. And there were a lot of people who had bought that comic and kept it preserved inside the poly bag, expecting that it would be worth, $50 million in a year. But, he came back and it blew that whole investment opportunity and soured a lot of people. But this time around, does anyone anywhere actually believe that they're killing off all these characters? Like even the most normie of normies person who's not collecting comics at all. Does anyone believe that they're going to pick this book up and everybody's going to be dead? Batman, everyone is dead. And on top of that, what kind of impact, and I guess we'll find out. Williamson said this is playing off of what he's been setting up in Infinite Frontier and Justice League Incarnate and these comics that he's been working on. But the challenge here is, Batman's still going to be doing its thing with 40 different Batman books. All these titles are just going to keep clocking along. It kind of blows the whole thing if only one person commits to the bit. One of the reasons why Death of Superman actually did do well is that in the other titles, not the Superman titles, Superman was still dead. They didn't have Superman flying around over there going, well, I don't know what's going on in that comic, but in this one, I'm fine. They didn't do any of that. They took him off the table for the line. They're not going to do that with all these characters. They're not going to clear the decks and have Batman just not be in Batman for however long. This is a storyline. They're going to run it and then they'll find a way to bring it back to life. But if you're not doing it for everything, it really tempers the impact. So it's funny, you talk about this is going to be an even bigger event than Superman 75. And no way. There's just no way it's going to be. Will it be an entertaining storyline? It might be. Josh Williamson is a good writer, and I'm anxious to see what he does and everything else. But I can't help but think that by hyping it up as the death of the Justice League and a bigger event, and we're tying it to issue 75, and we're going to thematically kind of get all that, by doing that, and the fact that you just had Wonder Woman dead a year ago. Just dead. I mean, she just came back to life, like 4 months, 3 months ago? She reemerged into things. I mean, you've had Batman dead, you've had Superman. I mean, like you had so much of this happening in, and in one case, less than 12 months ago, that it's hard to really buy into this being a big deal. But I think it's possible to enjoy a story and also, have this not be a big deal. And I think both those things can be true. Feels like that's where we're at this time, but we'll find out. So the question then gets tossed to you. Are you buying this? Are you into it? Are you interested? What do you think of all of it? Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited? Do you want to see the Justice League die? For all you people who are saying DC was going to die in July of last year, you're just off by like 6 months, 7. Well, no, I guess it'll be April. 9 months? Not too bad. Not too bad. The people owe you an apology. So there you go. Thanks for listening.